Real life street stars. We in here with MouseQuake. What's up with it, man?
Ain't nothing going on but the rent, playboy.
Chilling, chilling. First of all, let's touch on this Pimp C album, man, that you know what I'm saying, mixed down, man. Tell us about that.
Um, I was an engineer and mix engineer on the latest Long Live the Pimp CD that's out. It came out December 4th with an array of superstars on it. I was brought in by the world famous Mr.Lee of Rap-A-Lot fame. 85 million sold. Ain't that something? Yeah, we had an array of stars on it. We had Pimp. We had Nas. That's Nasir Jones, not somebody from the hood. David Banner, Lil Wayne, Bun B, Juicy J. Whom else we had on there? Lil Kiki, ESG, Slim Thug, Devin the Dude, Ty Dolla Sign. A whole lot of people on there.
And let us know personally how you feel just being part of that, as far as just your relationship musically with Pimp C. First going, how did it even come about you being part of that program?
Well, me and Mr. Lee met a lot of years ago at a Puka Leroy listening session, which is really funny. It was me, Lee, KC on the track, Throwdown Sam, Dollar Bill, M Square when he was here. A whole lot of people. We were just listening to Puka Leroy's new project at the time.
Yeah.
And me and Lee just got, exchanged numbers, talked a little bit, and then I didn't see Lee for maybe 3 or 4 years. And then one producer I was working with, B Barber, went to Houston, the Space City Beat Battle, and won it.
Shout out B Barber.
Lee wanted to sign him. Well, once he told Lee that I was his boy and he was my dude, Lee called me and said, "Hey man, why in the hell you ain't tell me you was with MouseQuake? I took care of you right then." Yeah. And then me and Lee been close ever since then. And then I was working on a lot of stuff, projects of majors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I had a change in direction, and I just happened to I called. He said, "Hey man, I'm come up to the house this week." And he said, "Yeah, come on up to the house." So I went up to the house. We went in the studios after we talked and started laughing or whatever. And he said, "Hit the space bar." I hit the space bar, and I don't say this word on regular, but I said, "Nigga, is that Pimp?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I need you to go ahead and help me mix these." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "That's cool." Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm from New Jersey, so we don't really listen to UGK like that. Okay. I got my first taste of UGK from one of my instructors when I was in engineering school, Tim Kimsey, who mixed all the first stuff. He mixed like Pocket Full of Stones and One Day You Hear and all that. So I got used to that, and so I'm not a Pimp C like I could call names of the songs out. But after this project, man, I got a healthy dose of respect for that brother. Because he said, he was similar. He said what the hell he wanted to say. Right. As he said, you can either talk to me, we can work it out, or we can talk and a fight come with that.
Real. Shout out to Pimp.
Pimp C, man. Rest in peace, bro.
Yeah, and with that said, as far as, mixing down the project and being part of, like you said, Nas and, all the people that were a part of that project as far as featured on it, just how does it feel to be kind of cemented, like, even further in history?
It's humbling, very humbling. I'm really not a rah-rah kind of dude. I'd rather be at home with my wife at the kitchen table drinking coffee and eating or something, or just doing some music. I don't really have two vices: being at home with my family and going to the damn Guitar Center.
Yeah,
those are my two vices. But to be able to take somebody's work and then be able to put your touch on it, and then be it approved by an array of legends, it's kind of humbling because you do this stuff not just for money, you do it for love. If you're doing it for the money, you're never gonna have love for it anyway. You might as well go work for the white man.
Real talk.
But it's just amazing. The credits came out and I was getting text messages about congratulations, and me and Lee was still in the studio working on the damn record. So,
yeah, they gonna say that.
Yeah, so it's just humbling, man. It's humbling. I really appreciate Lee for bringing me in and just turning me loose and letting me do what I do.
What's gonna be the best track? What's your favorite track on the new joint? Can you tell us that?
I don't really have a favorite one. I like all of them, to tell you the truth. The ones that the ones that we did. I mean, musicality, I just love all of them. I can kind of, it's the first project I've ever worked on, and I can recite words to it. I never listen to the words. I know that sounds crazy.
That's real.
But I never listen to the words. My job is to make sure it's recorded properly and sounds great. So the words aren't really that important till we get it everything sounding good. But I do bump. Ain't said shit a lot. It's real and sober millions. People fake it till you make it though. Yeah.
There you go. There you
Long
go.
live the pimp.
Yes, sir.
All right, and of course that was Long Live the Pimp. Let us know about your accolades as far as over the years of who you worked with, what projects you worked on. Kind of give us coming up to Long Live the Pimp.
Well, I worked on a lot of old school stuff, some Al Green stuff, and some Foster McElroy. There was the boys that did Tony, and In Vogue, stuff like that. And I'm really not the kind of guy that lives off of what I did before, because if it sucks the next time, all that shit don't mean nothing. So so I kind of just work real hard on every project, even if I'm working on the guy who just wants to do it for his homeboys in the car. That shit's got to be dope because my name's behind it. So, and I like to work with a lot of local people too, because it's more fulfilling.
Exactly. And tell us what got you into the whole getting behind the board, mixing, making beats and all that. What kind of got you into that?
Well, I started doing music in '78 when I was in 6th grade, and I've always been I'm a drummer by trade, and I'm a piano player, and I always saw that the musicians got most of the girls, because straight up, you can see the musicians. Football player got a helmet on, you can't see him. Basketball players run up and down the court, you see him every now and then. But when I saw the band playing and the girls dancing, and that was it for me. I knew what I want to do right there on the spot. So I've always knew from 10, 11 years old I wanted to be a musician. Yeah, that was the only thing I really wanted to do, really. I played ball too. I went to North Carolina State, played ball, but I didn't go to school to play ball. I went to school to be a musician.
What software are you using right now?
All of them, and I ain't lying. I go from Reaper to Reason to Pro Tools to Ableton to Machine, Bitwig. It don't matter. The thing is, if it does the job for me, the first one I open up for the day, that's the first one I use all day. So I don't really have a preference. But I'll mix in Pro Tools and Harrison Mix Bus. But making music, I can play live. It don't matter.
On up and coming engineer and producer, what advice would you give them?
One, go to school and stop trying to be a YouTube professional. And that's basically what you got. A lot of guys in the bedroom, I can record, I can use Pro Tools, and then when I get the session, it's all, as they call it in the military, snafu, situation normal, all fucked up. Go to school, learn what you're doing. You don't want to go into a place where you're sitting there and they're speaking lingo and professional and technical terms, and all you know is the hood shit. That's the first thing. The second thing is learn how to practice more than you perform. I'll spend 8-9 hours just learning how to use one thing, because it's going to enhance what I do every time. And the most important thing is stop trying to find a person that has spent 40 years learning how to do it and try to flatter them by saying, let me sit up on you, I just want to watch you. That's a cheap-ass way to learn something. Slaves did that.
What's the worst mistake an engineer can make?
Not listening to the artist. I get paid pretty well for my expertise, but the thing is, if you're not doing what the artist wants you to do or what they feel you should do, you're really fucking your own self up. You can always suggest what you think is best, that it's a tried and proven thing. But if you're trying to tell an artist what he wants to sound like or what he should sound like, you already lost money, because this little music thing is small. So if you fuck up one, they're gonna talk about, man, that dude fucked up every last one of my fucking tracks. That's how it goes, man. Word of mouth.
Man, and without dropping any names, or name drop if you want, tell us about one of those one of the worst situations as far as just being behind the board trying to produce somebody.
Funny.
Go ahead.
Let me see. I'm not calling any names because I need to keep my check coming.
There you go.
I was working with one artist. It was a female, and she came in with her husband and her entourage, and immediately thought that I was her damn kid.
Husband and entourage.
Telling me what I better do and blah 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 blah. So I had to stop and say, hey, I want to explain something to you. My government name is Norman, which means one man. You don't tell me shit. I've already been paid. I can go get in the car and take my ass back home.
Already.
So that's probably the worst one that I could discuss.
There you go. And tell us, what do you feel about, the Dallas music scene? I'm not gonna just categorize it hip hop, but just the Dallas music scene in general.
Quiet as it's kept, Dallas is about to be the center of the universe, and I'm gonna preface that by saying that most of the music that comes out of this city comes out in other cities because the artists here have a tendency of not wanting to work together, or better yet, commune together.
Yeah.
And by saying that, you could think about all these other cities. Like, point in case, when we were doing the Pimp C record,
yeah,
the Mr.lee made one phone call to the Houston guys, and they show up.
That's real.
Sight unseen. You have here in Dallas probably some of the most talented damn musicians and writers and singers and rappers, and half of them have never even sat in a room with each other.
That's true.
It's like sniping. It's really crazy. If this city learned how to commune and take care of what's inside the city, we wouldn't have a need to go anywhere else. They'd come here instead of coming here and stealing and taking it somewhere else.
Exactly. And from MouseQuake, what do you feel the city could use to have more of that organization?
Well, number one, they got to stop the petty bullshit.
Right.
That's number one. You can't. It's almost like dating a pretty girl. She has a history because she's pretty, and there's a whole lot of other dudes that tried to holler or got with her. You just have to wipe that shit under the bridge and do what you need to do, and that's the problem.
And of course, we see your shirt. You walked in with a shirt saying "Hip Hop is bigger than government."
Oh, yeah.
Tell us what you feel about the influence of hip hop in just culture in general.
Well, nowadays they don't really have any influence because they're not talking about shit.
There you go.
Drugs, getting high, going to strip club, flipping off money. Rap used to be our CNN when I was growing up. Right. You could tell the climate of some place by listening to the rap. Like, one of my favorite songs ever is Cube's "Today Was a Good Day." You could sit down and listen to that song with your eyes closed and see every word and situation. Now, fast forward that down to, say, Future or Young Thug. I mean, you can't
close your eyes.
Yeah, you can't. You can't even decipher what the words are.
Exactly.
Not saying that they're not saying some good shit, but you just can't decipher. You can't feel it. I mean, like, you can't even. Right now, you probably can say 2012 and think about what was a hot song in 2012. You can't name one.
True. Very true.
Yeah, you can't name one.
Very true. And Straight Outta Compton just got nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I saw it twice.
Twice. Okay. What do you feel about Straight Outta Compton, the representation of the NWA era?
Well, I mean, that's basically what was going down. Fuck the police, and they came and ushered in right after the Public Enemy time. So they gave us a glimpse of what L.A. living was. But fucking the police and police beating up black folks and all that's been going on since the beginning of the time. The police force it's funny. People don't realize that the police force was not built to protect us. It was built to protect white people's property.
Real talk.
So.
Real talk. And nowadays, being in the social media area, where everything is Instagram, everything is Snapchatted and everything like that. It's hard to kind of do things behind the scenes and have an album that drops on a date. Now you got to kind of release it virally.
Yeah.
What do you feel social media has come into play as far as being on the engineering side, the producing side of things?
Well, it made us step up our game. I know that much. You have to be very precise and very astute to make sure that the product that you're putting out does not even touch or rival the other person. It has to be better than the other person. Social media can either make you or even break you. You can be famous and broke, or great and famous and would have money. So it's a double-edged sword with social media. You can put bullshit out on social media, and then the good stuff doesn't get any look.
And you touched on that. The era that Guitar Center is everywhere now, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know how is it that you survive and make money, with all these engineers out here?
Well, I try to do the best I can on every project. I don't care who it is. I've never advertised who I was or what I do. I've always got all of my work on referral or word of mouth or something like that. And a lot of these guys, you can almost gauge what they're gonna do. The funny thing is about producer titles. So and so on the track, so and so on the beat, and they forget that it should be music. Machines make beats, and that's what's lacking. And being that I'm a musician and a multi-instrumentalist and an engineer, I kind of got a little upper hand sometimes because I know what songs feel like because I grew up playing in bands. And that's basically the end all to get off of that.
So who are you going to vote for?
I will not vote for Donald Trump. Fuck Trump. I don't like Hillary because of her politics. I can't stand Cruz because he's a phony. I like Bernie Sanders. Not saying I'm gonna vote for him because I have to do a little bit more research. But Bernie is a little bit more close to what my political thinking is. But in all actuality, I don't think Bernie can even make the presidency because they might kill him.
Wow.
They might kill him because the funny thing, he's unmasking what Caucasians don't want us to know. He's telling. And if anybody knows that, Caucasians will turn on each other before they turn on you.
Did Bill Cosby do it?
Bill probably did some of that stuff. But to wait 30 years to prosecute him when Roman Polanski was doing the same shit, he just won an Oscar last year.
Man, crazy.
Yeah, so, and they ain't going after him. And they said, funny part about it, say Bill Cosby was doing that to some of the girls in the Playboy Mansion. Okay, why you think you're in the Playboy Mansion?
Real talk. I mean, hey, that's what happens in the Playboy Mansion, man. That's just what it is.
You happen to build his whole career off sex, so.
I think it's more so that Bill just has that wholesome Cosby feel that people just are gearing that towards. But not the comedy part of it.
Bill shitted on us a while back too.
He did.
Talking about what black people need to do and all that, and that's that false sense of security.
Yeah.
You think because you're rich and famous that they accept you when they only accept you when you're making them money.
Exactly. Man, and tell us, as far as a lot of rock stars and stuff like that, they feel like they need to be on drugs or anything to come in and have a good session in the studio. Do you feel like any kind of drug helps a session or makes a session like it deters it when someone comes in high on something, whatever it is?
I can't stand it. I never drink or smoke, and I'm almost 50.
Right.
I think if you have to be inebriated or they say get lifted to do what you're supposed to be able to do, you're wasting time. So if you're smoking or drinking, I'm not recording shit.
So if Pimp C, long live the Pimp, came in double cupped.
Pimp didn't go in the studio double cup.
Okay, yeah, things we didn't know. We didn't know.
Yeah. People don't know Pimp, as what I was told by Mr. Lee, Pimp produced a lot of his own records.
Yeah.
So you can't really do what you need to do high.
Real talk.
Every great musician, he may drink after, he may smoke after, or he may smoke before and wait it out before he gets there. But I've never met a great musician that initially goes in and produces all their shit high, because you can't remember what the hell you're doing.
Real tough.
Yeah, but you know that's the days of when you had to play shit. Now you can just punch a button and shit play.
Yeah,
for
now
you.
they recording in the
Yeah.
bathroom, so they do whatever they want in their house. MouseQuake, man, who would you, dead or alive, like to work with or have worked with, and why?
How many?
How you say? How many?
Yeah, how many?
Give us top 3.
All right, number 1, Michael Jackson.
Okay, why?
Michael Jackson
should
was
know why,
he
right?
was a perfectionist, man. Anytime a dude music can be playing, he can tell you what key the song is in and why did you do that, and this is off. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder,
Okay.
hell of a musician, songwriter, and Teddy Riley.
Oh yeah, Teddy. Yeah.
Yeah, Teddy Riley.
There you go.
Quiet as it kept, a lot of people came from Teddy Riley.
That's real. That's
Pharrell,
real.
Timbaland, Devontae Swing,
That's real.
you know, Basic Black. All the Basic Black are the guys. I grew up with them. They did Special Kind of Food, the slow jam they play on the slow jam shows all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people came out of him today. You know, shit, man. Teddy was everywhere. Rump Shaker, all
Yeah.
that. Teddy was everywhere,
That's
bro.
real. All right, definitely, man. And you know, Adele just sold 3.3 mil, man. What do you think about that, man? What's that all about?
My honest opinion is
1
Adele
week.
is a Caucasian who sings black,
Yeah,
sounds black,
we've seen it before.
and she's heavy.
Yeah,
But Jill Scott run her out of the building.
exactly.
Angie Stone run her out of the building. Layla Hathaway run her out of the building.
I call it the Elvis Presley effect. You know.
Well, you know, that's what they do. And you know what's funny is we give it to them
Yeah,
because they know we
do.
like shiny shit.
because it's on K104 97.9. You hear hello everywhere,
Bro, and you can't hear a local record on K104 97.9 except for a special time.
Exactly. It's,
But if you go to Atlanta, you hear all Atlanta shit all day long.
exactly.
I was in Atlanta for a week. I think I heard maybe one song that wasn't by an Atlanta artist, and it was produced by an Atlanta producer, and that's why the artist was on the radio.
So would you say Atlanta's the now hip hop mecca? Because it used to be, or I would say it still is New York as far as just where it came from. Would you say Atlanta now is?
No, there's no hip hop mecca now because it's everywhere, and you know the advent of the internet and the ability for everybody to put their stuff up on SoundCloud or just post it somewhere makes hip hop universal. I mean, you go to Japan, you have Japanese trying to be black. They're getting their skin darkened. They got froze. I mean, you can go anywhere in the world except for here and be appreciated for being a black hip hop artist. That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Definitely, man. I know they strong in Nigeria with this hip hop
Oh,
music,
man,
man.
they-
They out there, man. These videos look like.
And you know, I know my wife's from Nigeria, so.
Oh yeah, so you know, so you know.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, with that said, as far as you know, those that want to, of course, you know, preview the work, follow you, you know, check out, you know, whatever you have going on from now in the past or in the future. What's the best way for people to get at you?
I have a site. It's MF MouseQuake, and no, MF does not stand for what you think it does. It stands for most famous.
There you go.
Everybody thinks it stands
Everybody
for
got a lot of
motherfucker.
MF in their name.
Yeah, everybody motherfucking but that's what people say all the time. Yeah. My site, and you know, I work with a whole lot of local artists. I got some stuff with a bunch of artists that has come out. I got a lot of songs that are bouncing around. You probably heard them, but don't even know it's me.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you work with Tiloso, See Through, Two Piece. I mean, I know you've been working with a lot of local artists. Like you said, you met Mr. Lee at Puka Leroy's album listening party. Is there any local artists that you haven't worked with that you've been kind of keeping an eye on?
Let's see. Well, no more ADD, so that kills that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us what do you feel? What does MouseQuake feel about the ADD?
I want to get a piece of them so bad.
Yeah, man.
You know, I like Topic.
Okay, yeah.
You like
Topic.
Topic.
Shout out to Topic for real.
This little young kid named XB. He's dope.
Okay.
You know, I kind of work with a lot of them. You know, I work with Shoes, McGee, and
Real
See
tough.
Through, JUCO Vibe, Two Piece Malone, executive producing Telioso's project. I'm letting y'all know right now.
Oh, she got some.
I'm letting y'all know right now. It's gonna be something for you.
Some we ain't seen. That's what
Yeah.
that's what we need. Some we ain't
Yeah.
seen. You know. What
Yeah,
I'm saying?
right. And I'm working on Mr. Debonair. He's working with Brian McKnight and Claude McKnight. So I'm doing that now. I've been mixing that for the past week.
Definitely. Well, with that said, any shout outs you want to give to anyone local, outside, at home?
Yeah, I want to shout out my wife, man, who holds me down. I don't think I would ever be at the point I am unless I had her there. She keeps me grounded, and you know, you got to have somebody that'll put you in check when you need to be put in check. I don't need to be put in check that much. But
Did she ever sit through the sessions and tell you you need to change this,
well,
change that?
yeah, funny you say that. I was working on a Telioso track, and all my kids were home from college, and my wife was sitting right across from me when I was in the session or whatever. And she took her headphones. I said, "Babe, that don't sound good." And I was like, "Damn." So I scrapped the whole song and started from scratch. And I didn't. I had the whole house jumping in the house. Oh yeah. So I sent it to Telioso, and she's like, "Oh, that's it."
You're
So
right.
you know, you got to be aware and humble. Take an ass whoop. You got to take a L sometime to get the W, man.
So they be the biggest critic, man, but they the closest one to you. So
Yeah,
they ain't gonna try to steer you wrong.
You know, plus, you know, she knows that's how we keep the lights on, and she drive the car and
There you
shit
go.
like that. Yeah, that's cool though. But and then my kids and my boy Lee and Antonio Hall at Deep Ellum Music Group got a nice little roster of stuff, and you know that'll probably be the last of the Mohicans.
Well, you know, you are, you know, a legend.
I hope
and
so.
you are a real life street star. We definitely love having you on. You know, we definitely appreciate the time. And yeah, we'll be sure to follow Real
Peace
Life Street
out.
Stars.
Peace out.